Thanks for staying with us. Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight. Let's hear it, I should say, for the sage of Southern California, who's back from his European jaunt, and he joins us from Santa Barbara. You went to Iceland and Scandinavia. We'll get to that in a moment. But first up, the white lady who wants to be black. What do you think?
Well, Billy, I guess her name is Rachel
Dolezal. Yeah.
Dolezal. Sorry, I didn't know how to pronounce it. If she doesn't know who the hell she is, how am I supposed to know who the hell she is? But anyway, I think it's official in our culture now that the train wrecks are slowing down to ogle us, because I don't know what in the hell we're doing. You know, I think that she thinks that she's heroic by saying she's trying to take some of the, the black community in this country over the years has been aggrieved. She's trying to accrue some of that in an effort to be a hero. I've heard of this in medical fields called Munchausen by proxy illness. I think she has Thelonious Munchausen by proxy disease, where she's trying to take on. And by the way, in a related note, in an unrelated delivery, I think RG3 is going to have a better year this year, and I think the Washington Elizabeth Warrens have a chance to go 8-8.
Oh, did they change the name? Did they change officially to the Washington Elizabeth Warrens?
They've gone from the Redskins. They're now the Washington Elizabeth Warrens, because she, too, is trying to get in on this.
It's a lot to get on the helmet, though. You know what I mean? I guess you have her logo.
Well, they should just put a picture of Boehner. He's always sunburned. Listen, I think that the Time Person of the Year at this point is undoubtedly going to be Caitlyn Jenner. And then I think she'll probably protest that she's the Person of the Year instead of the Woman of the Year. But I think in the second position will be Rachel Dolezal. Those are the two people who I would say at this point in the early running for Times Person of the Year.
They have a shot. Now, Bloomberg Intelligence, that I guess is a newsletter that comes out of their news.
That's also an oxymoron. That's also an oxymoron.
Well, the mayor did a pretty good job here in New York.
Yeah, he's a genius. Best guy who ever lived. He might as well be Japanese. He's such a good guy.
Miller, you're out there in Santa Barbara. You don't live in New York. You should see the difference in a year. Okay?
I
he
know.
goes and de Blasio comes. You should see it. All right? And we're going to have a special Waters World on it on Monday.
They're
it's
all
chaos.
Geniuses. Hey, they're all geniuses.
Okay.
Everybody's a genius except me.
Out where you live, Bloomberg says, because of the drought, quote, fewer personal hygiene products, such as soap and liquid shampoo, are being sold because people are not using the water to clean themselves. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to buy soap in above a 16-ounce container because of Bloomberg. But it's a moot point out here, Billy, since the leadership already stinks to high heaven. There's no way to glean any extra stink in an olfactory sense. A lot of this is self-induced. They diverted water to take care of the delta smelt. And you know the old aphorism from the playgrounds, Billy, he who delta smelt it, dealt it. And I think that's what's happening.
Wasn't that the fraternity in Animal House, Delta Smelter? Wasn't it? Something like that.
I was making more of a percussive joke. But he who delta smelt it, or dealt it.
Yeah,
that feels you're right.
Way over my head. All right, so
there's my Belushi.
I traveled to Iceland a couple of years ago. You just got back. You went to Scandinavia.
No, I didn't, Billy. I'm going next week.
Oh, I thought you went to Iceland already.
No.
Oh. Did you go someplace?
No, I had to go up to Fresno. I've been appointed the head of the NAACP chapter up there, and I had to go up for an annual meeting. I'm going next year. Actually, I'm going to a small island off the coast of Nova Scotia that pretends to be Iceland. It's called Vanilla Iceland. But at the end of the day, it's just fake and phony and hollow. But of course, I'm kidding. You know I go on the road. I start in Reykjavik each year. I got this idea from Hal Holbrook and his Mark Twain show. I do an evening with Boris Spassky, where I come on in Reykjavik and I go king to pawn too. It's a pretty big thing over there.
All right, now look, I'm going to give you some tips right now. Write them down, Miller. All right?
Yeah.
You got to eat a lot of herring when you go over there. Okay, so get ready for that. You got to acquire the taste in Santa Barbara. You got to wear a hat. You got because it's a little cool, even though it's summer. It's a little cool in Iceland. All right, and it's light all around the clock. It's never dark over there, Miller. So you're not going to know what time is it or what I should do.
Well, out here in California with a drought, it's perpetually we live in dark. It's crazy out here. And by the way, you know who the most popular person is in Iceland? Japanese Mike Bloomberg.
Dennis Miller, everybody. One footnote, the D-Man and I would like to remind you that the Don't Be a Pinhead tour in the fall, selling out quickly. St. Louis, Chicago, Charlotte, South Florida at the Hard Rock Hotel, Phoenix, Caesars Palace in Vegas. Show's a blast. Info on BillO'Reilly.com.